Well, folks, in today's video, we're going to be unboxing something that arrived at the post office fairly recently. I know absolutely nothing about this box. I don't know who it came from, where it's from, but we're going to find out today. So let's get started. And it looks like we're in. Let's check all this out. For Great Northern. Let's just see, maybe there's a letter or something like that in here. There's some parts. So far, I'm not seeing any letter, so I still don't know where this came from, but I guess we'll dig in and maybe we'll find something. I don't know. But it does look like somebody sent a whole bunch of different things. Wow, so the first thing we've got is a Bachmann steam locomotive. I believe these are referred to as a mogul. Don't quote me on that. As I've said, I'm not great with locomotive types, so I'm not 100% sure, but I got something similar to this engine as a kid in a Canadian National paint scheme. This one's a Santa Fe. Let's have a look, see what else this is. Santa Fe locomotive from Lifelike. This one's been converted to a dummy, though. I think this is a Spirit of 76. Yes, it is. These things are so awesome. I'm not sure if this has the special seal or not. I don't know the difference between all the different Tycos, because some of them, I guess, had a special seal, which is very rare because they were recalled. You never know. Sometimes you can find one. Apparently, I have one in my collection, but I'm not 100% sure. Burlington Northern engine, maybe? Yes, it is. And it's another Lifelike. Although this is a second generation Lifelike, I believe. Oh, no, I'm wrong. It's a third generation Lifelike because it's got the 3-pole motor. Usually the third generation Lifelikes have windows, but this one doesn't, so maybe they were removed. It is geared though, so the drive is still intact. Looks like we got another steam engine of some sort. Just saw a little part. I'll just put that there so I don't lose it. Look at that. It's a Rivarossi Baltimore and Ohio locomotive. Nice. I think this is one of their later models. I believe the plate at the bottom was usually made out of metal, but this one appears to be plastic. I don't think I've seen that before. That's interesting. Ooh, Grand Trunk. Probably by, yep, Lionel. These are really interesting because they are the only locomotives, to my knowledge, to be actually partially made in Canada. Really quite nice. I think this is the, I was going to say all-wheel drive model, but I don't know. At least it's better than some of the other models, which basically share the same drive that Bachmann actually used. I think this is Tyco. Yeah, Tyco Santa Fe. It's got the power torque drive. Looks to be in fairly good condition, too. I really just can't believe this lot. Again, I wish I knew who this came from. It's like ridiculously generous. I think we got a Rock Island locomotive. Yeah, look at that. A lot of people don't like the Tyco stuff because, you know, it is admittedly very unrealistic, but from just a classic model train perspective, I don't know, there is something very fun about it all. Let's look at that. Ooh, this is something interesting. Great Northern. So there were some parts at the beginning of the unboxing, and I guess they're for this locomotive. And this is another Canadian molded Lionel. All-wheel drive, so if those parts can go back in, this could be a very nice runner. Wow. And then finally, or almost finally, it looks like we got an F unit, probably a, yep, Bachmann, Amtrak of some sort. Wonder if that paint was factory or not. Huh, never seen that detail on a Bachmann before. And this would be one of their pancake drives. Kadar drives, I think they were referred to as. Got this engine, which is a Rivarossi 040. Something seems a little off. It definitely could use some work, but it's still a nice engine. I quite like these Rivarossis. Well, wow. Was not expecting that, to say the least. I'm quite curious if any of these things run, so I set them up beside the track here so we can go ahead and test them all out. I don't have super high expectations because I think these were mostly sent as projects, but there's only one way to find out. Anyway, let's begin with the Bachmann 060. I'd be really curious to see if this will start. Anyway, let's give it some power here. And I can hear something. I am seeing some current draw, but the engine is not running, so I think we have a seized drive in this case. On to the next one. This one's a Rivarossi. These tend to be relatively tough locomotives, so I don't know, given the looks of the condition, I think this one's actually got a decent shot. And who knows, maybe it's got an electrical problem. Oh, no, definitely does not have an electrical problem. Something in the drive is slipping, probably the worm gear. This one very well could have a similar problem. It's kind of, well, you can sort of see it on camera, but the engine's very uneven. I think it had to have been dropped or something at some point. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing any current draw. Yeah, I don't think that one's gonna start. Not entirely surprising considering it's probably the roughest of the bunch. And then we got the Amtrak. I think this one, I don't know, it looks a little bit rusted, honestly. Like if you just look at the wheels there, maybe it was involved in a flood. Yeah, I'm really unsure whether or not this one's gonna start. No current draw so far. Moving it around. Absolutely nothing. Oh, I saw the lights flash. Yeah, I think this was involved in a flood. The wheels are probably just so oxidized. Can't really start, but if we move it around long enough, it might just go. Yeah, maybe this one's gonna need some work. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to force the thing to go, but it is showing some signs of life. It's nothing too drastic, but you know, it is a fairly simple engine on the inside, so I think that one's actually got a pretty good shot at running again at some point. This one's a Power Torque. These drives are kind of notoriously unreliable, but similar to the Bachmann, they're not terribly complicated, so we could probably get this one going again if it doesn't run, which I'd say is fairly likely. Nothing so far. Saw a light for a second there. I think we've got a seized drive or maybe a bad connection. I'm pretty sure this one was a dummy. I think we concluded that. Yeah, that one's a dummy, so it doesn't have to run. This one, however, though, does have a drive. These Lifelikes have a notorious problem where the wheels oxidize really easily. I think it's the type of metal, so often if these things have sat for a while, they will not start. But if you can get them moving, they usually will spring back to life. I've seen it many, many times, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's what's going on here. So I'm putting 12 volts in the track, and predictably, it's not doing anything, but if we wiggle it around here, maybe not so. I don't know. Usually it's just a problem with the wheels, but in this case, I'm kind of thinking it might actually be a problem with the wipers. The wheels just feel very loose. I'm really not so sure whether or not this one's gonna go, just because of, you know, it picks up some power from the back, some from the front. So anyway, let's we'll try it, but I'd be surprised if this one does anything. Well, I'll be darned. It starts right up. It's actually running. It just needs its rear truck to actually move. So, yeah, that one's got a pretty optimistic future, I would say. I guess same goes for this one. Hopefully it will fire up, but it's hard to be sure. Yep, starts right up. The motor sounds really good too, so yeah, that's great. And then we got a Power Torque. Again, just like the other Power Torque. Probably not the highest likelihood of going, but let's give it a shot. It's trying. Let's give it more power. Yeah, I think that's about the most we're going to get out of it. And then finally, another power torque. What do you guys think? Is this one going to be the one that starts? I saw it move just a little. All right, full power. The wheels might just be so dirty, it might not even be capable of running. A lot of the drives on these old power torques are gummed up because they were given grease from the factory, which over time dries and then seizes the whole drive. That, coupled with these drives just not being very well built or very reliable in a lot of ways, it's not the best combination. But again, they're not super complicated to fix. So yeah, basically got a whole bunch of different projects, but a really nice lot. And yeah, if you happen to be the person out there who sent this, thank you so much. It was very generous of you. I wish I knew who sent it. That way I could, thank you by name. But yeah, I unfortunately just didn't see any letter. So if you are the person, thank you so kindly. It's very, very generous. Anyways, I hope all of you enjoyed. Hopefully we'll get to work on some of these locomotives in the not so distant future. But until then, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching.